Good morning.
Aloha, Tashi delay.
How's everybody doing today?
Chad, Chris, healthy.
Doing
Beth.
good here. I'm in Ohio. It's cold. It's very cold.
Who's in Ohio? Chad's in Ohio.
Morning, doing well. Good to see you.
No, same here. What's happening?
5
What are we
a.m.
what are we doing here? Why am I here? Much aloha from Costa Rica. We are now in a place called the Osa Peninsula, jungle setting on the ocean, uh, completely surrounded by wild animals and ocean life and a few people, and riverbed roads to get into this place. But here we are, and I'm very fortunate to be able to give this class and transmit to you, Dharma brothers and sisters. And today, the topic is a holdover from our last class last week, which we gave the Manjushri practice, empowerment. And today we're going to do the practice together. And for you that are new to the Tibetan tradition of using deities and mantra to replace the sutra tradition or actually integrate with the sutra tradition, it's very important to know the technique of cultivating. You use the word meditating, but it simply means to use the deity as a temporary training method for your mind to have good health and wealth in the body and overcome obstacles of emotional confusion in your mind. But in this case, we're using a special deity like you use on your cell phone or your computer, which is to understand or learn or find what you need in both the spiritual applications and worldly applications, such as good health and wealth, etc. So, with that, we'll start today with the 21 breaths, which is the basis of all of what we do, staying in the body, using the air element and the power of the breath to accomplish, as I say, good health and wealth. So to start, sit with your back straight, comfortable on a chair, cushion, however you are, laying down even, and bring your awareness to the present. And if you're not using the deity yoga, but the sutra tradition, then you just need to color the in-breath white, the middle breath red, and the exhale blue. And you do that 21 times. If you are doing mantras of Chenrezig, Tara, or other deities, then you can add the vibration of the three sounds: Om for the body, Ah for the speech, and Hum for the mind. So the color code remains the same, white, red, and blue, but you actually add these three Sanskrit tantric symbols: Om, Ah, and Hung. And the Hung is an infinite healing modality of the exhale out to the world around us and all the beings in it, all the animals, all the humans, and all the spirits, and they become our family with this connection. So with that advice, as I said before, back straight, hands comfortable, eyes open if you can. Inhale, white light. The middle breath is red light. The exhale is blue light to space, as healing energy to the environment around us and the beings in it. And then if you're Tantra, you add the Om, Ah, and Hum with the 21 breath. Om on the inhale. Ah is the middle breath of healing. And exhale, blue light of both of those to space. We'll start with that. Inhale. Count 21 breaths.
Bye-bye. Have a nice time.
Thank you.
When you reach the 21st count, then collect the three lights. If you're doing the three sounds, collect the Om, Ah, Hum and bring that energy pattern into your heart chakra and dissolve it into a tiny point of light. Then from that position of infinite potential, expand the light into, if you are intuitive, one of the four elements, earth, water, fire, or air. And if you don't know which one, then you always use the mother element of space, which is simply a white sphere of light about the size of your thumbnail. In either case, bring this symbol out in front of your body, up before your eyes, directly in front of your nose. When you see it there, then wear it. And by that I mean expand it to enclose your physical body just as you are. A white sphere of energy of infinite healing potential or balance. As you feel this take place within your physical body, coming into balance with the five elements, then share it by expanding it outward. And this part of the practice is specifically for people doing the tantric tradition of a Tara or Chenrezig or Manjushri or whatever deity. The whole purpose of the practice is not only for yourself, but for the whole universe of sentient beings. So you expand it outward to include a large area of your neighborhood where you live, city, island, whatever. We suggest about 3,000 meters or about 50 miles and out from your home in every direction. Having incorporated that area, then expand outward for the symbol to completely enclose Mother Earth, expanding outward, completely enclose the solar system with all the planets, sun, moon, everything for billions of miles in every direction inside. Expanded outward to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy, which is said to be over 100,000 light years in diameter. Again, keep the symbol spherical, creating a mandala. Having accomplished that, expand the symbol of the element into the potential reality of infinite space with no center, no edges, no boundary. And as this takes place, they merge together as one into a state of clear light. All pervasive, which is the nature of your mind. Mind having two natures, this nature of the spiritual infinite potential and the nature of the physical world, which the purpose of everything for us is healing, good health and wealth, and so forth. Then return the symbol, if you're using it, back to enclose the galaxy. Shrink it to enclose the solar system. Smaller and smaller to enclose Mother Earth. Then all of that into the area where you live. And then bring this into your physical body by enclosing it with this symbol. As you do this, the potential of all the elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space, become balanced in your situation, in your body. And be very assured of the good results of good fortune, good health, and so forth. Then finish the practice by bringing the symbol again to its small form in front of your eyes. Drop it to chest level and bring it into your heart chakra. in the central channel of your life force. And in that space, reduce it to a tiny point of light and then have it disappear. And at this juncture, there is no meditation. Relax, open, clear, naked, in highest state of joy and bliss. Then bring your hands in front of your heart chakra, fingers extended. Keep a space between them. And out of the tips of your fingers, earth, water, fire, air, and space, the healing energy shoots outward to all of your friends, lovers, pets, everybody you have karma with, this and future lives and past life. Think that they all receive this healing energy, same as you, equal to you. Slap your hands together to remove all obstacles and remain in the hand palms together in devotion to not only yourself, but all spiritual beings and worldly entities, and of course the environment around you. As we dedicate this, then we now again start the practice today of the Manjushri, Google. It's like the Google we call. And in our form of spiritual practice, we always dedicate the good results of whatever we are generating with our body, speech, and mind to not only the environment around us, but all the beings in the environment, all the animals, all the humans, and all the spirits. Before we do start the actual practice, I would like to chant the Tibetan prayer of the refuge. And we are taking refuge with not only the Buddha, the Buddha's teachings, which is called the Dharma, and the people practicing and teaching called the Sangha, but we also include this energy of the Tantric tradition of the Lama as the guide, all of the peaceful and protector deities as the Sangha, and then the healing energy of all of the energy of the actual prayers, mantras, visualizations, whatever techniques we are utilizing, and each and every one of us has the same karma. I mean, has different karma, but the same situation. So we have all of this in text, or we did it for people that don't have the text. We had this on this printed page. And I'll chant that to start the practice, and then we'll do the Manjushri practice together. Dagdang Jova Namge Dadang Yampe Samchem Tamche Dudine Jungte Jisi Chang Shu Ding Po La Chi Ki Bardu Palden Lama Dampa Nam La Chak Su Chi Yidam Chirgorgi La So Nam La Chak Su Chi Sanjay Chom Dende Nam La Chap Su Chi Dampe Chernam La Chap Su Chi Pao Gandro Chokyong Sung Me Sho Yeshe Ki Shin Dong Dimpa Nam La Chap Su Chi. And then the Bodhisattva's prayer. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chok Nam La Janchu Bardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jinso Chi Pe So Nam Ki Jola Penjur Sanjay Jupar Sho. To the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama deities and protectors, we go for refuge in order to bring all beings, our parents, our mothers, to full states of awakening and full states of using every power of their being to affirm their spiritual and worldly situation to benefit everything in the environment around us and all the beings in the environment. That said, in both Tibetan and English, if you can say these two opening prayers 3 times, once for the body, once for the speech, and once for the mind, then proceed. In the process of using the 5 elements, we're actually incorporating the female energy of the universe as these elements in the same way that a mother creates a human form in her body. And so color coding this makes it easier for some of us to remember that, that each of these have our female energy with infinite potential. And that is in the human condition, specifically in the animal and spiritual world is quite limited. But in the human condition, we have this opportunity and we should use it now because this situation, death is in the process. And then we all have karma, which comes to us from our past lives, following us like a shadow. Karma is described as our tendencies, whether they be good or negative. And then this color code with the karmic tendencies transferred to also using the deity and the mantra, in this case, Manjushri, we have the opportunity of infinite potential, no limitations, resulting from the practice with the help of our Lama. And so it's the same color code on both sides of this sheet. But on this side, this is to take care of the dichotomy of the mind, which mostly, whether we like it or not, is emotional. And the emotions of attachment, aversion, desire, and so forth, hatred, fear, hope, anxiety, depression, whatever we're experiencing that way, you need to use special methods to bring that into balance. And that's where the Chenrezig, Om Mani Padme Hum practice comes into play, and the Tara practice of Om Tara Tutari Turi Soha, which I've given in the previous classes, these empowerments for that. And when you receive an empowerment from a teacher, Lama, then your body, speech, and mind is brought into what they call sync, into the same powerful position together. And when you generate this kind of power, you need to have not only concern for yourself, but concern for all living beings. And that is what we term compassion. And then you also have to have insight into the reality that everything extends from a state of purity. And that state is the second nature of your mind, which these practices kind of activate. So now we'll do the Manjushri practice. With the power of the body and speech and mind of the guides, male and female teachers, and with lineages that go back thousands of years, and for us, the Tantric tradition on this planet about 1,500 years. It started in Tibet, now it's worldwide. With these two woven together, I would like you to recite with me the mantra that I introduced in the last class. And it goes Om,
Om,
Ah,
Am,
Ra, Pa, Sa,
Ba,
Na,
Na,
Di,
Di,
Soha.
Soha.
Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. And these mantras letters with the D is the vibration of light, activated as clear light, which is the energy of the mind being completely clear of all defects, or we say harmful tendencies, and having been placed into a higher state of not only experiential awareness, but the radiant energy of space itself. And that's how your mother actually, my mother even told me, she said, I created you out of these elements in my body, and they are very powerful, and someday you will learn how to use them. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to use a mala to count the repetition of the mantra so we can embed it in our speech and in our awareness or consciousness. Back straight, eyes open, maybe a little smile on your face, hands in a comfortable position. Inhale. Om Arapatsa Nadi Soha. 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 Om Arapatsa Nadi Soha Om Arapata 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 Nadi. So then we shorten the mantra to bring it more into our present situation for whatever useful purpose we intend. Omara Pata Nadi. Omara Pata Nadi. Nadi is a channel, an opening, which are thousands of these coursing through our physical form and these portals of energy experience all around us in the natural world. Omara Pata Nadi, Omara Pata Nadi, Omara Pata Nadi, Omara Pata Nadi. Omar Patanadi, 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 Omar Patanadi. Nadi Omar Pata 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 Nadi di 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 Now that learning of this mantra through this method establishes it firmly in your speech and your memory system. And so you've recorded this, or either actually with your instruments or through your physical memory, spiritual memory system. When we did the Omar Patanadi Soha, that was an outward energy we call emanation. Then with the Soha left off, then that becomes a personal application. And then when we do just the D, that becomes the infinite potential situation of light itself, which is the ultimate nature of the mind as the antidote to all the emotional, negative, conflictive energy that we've generated in the past up to now. So I'm explaining this in this way. So now that you have the mantra with the application of using it skillfully, like all the teachers in Tibetan Buddhism do this, all the male and female lamas worldwide, and those possessing the vows of the monk or nun, and others like myself, and an ordinary teacher being human. However, then I will describe the deity. It is Chenrezig, but with just the hands, the right hand holding the text of the Prajnaparamita text in the right hand, and the left hand holding a blazing sword marked with the sound D on the blade. And the one on the right is for training with text or by hearing, like we're doing today, how to use this personally for whatever needs, like simple as finding your car keys when they're lost, or a universal application for your relatives or your pets, or any situation of memory problems where you can't remember phrases or words or whatever. And the deity is golden color. And with these two hands, in the memory system is activated, but the sword symbolizes cutting off the fixation on a self or a soul as a method, because actually existence is temporary, no matter whether it be heaven or hell or in between. All of these states that we created in our consciousness or whatever are simply, first of all, non-existence. It's like illusory, made of light and always changing, or a state of purity, which we use the word sunyata or emptiness, according to the Buddhist directions. And when you enter into that, that's the antidote itself in its perfect simplicity. And so visualize yourself as Manjushri, and they have a gesture for this in prostration. I'll show you how we use it to start practice in Namo Manjushri, Namo Shri, Namo Shriye Soha. So that means bring this power into the Manjushri into your consciousness, your speech, and your heart energy. So all your imagination is taking place in this area, and you are transporting it through your heart chakra, either inward or outward, your choice, to bring effect of knowledge, knowing what you need to know. And it works. And at my age of 86, memory is kind of iffy. So I'm constantly using this practice to keep me keep me informed, and that's what I would wish for you. So you can visualize the deity sitting above your head, or in your inside your, we call this your third eye or awareness, or in your throat chakra or heart chakra or power chakra or the secret chakras below, just below the navel. However you want to use this. And it works. Trust to that, just like you did with the Chenrezig and Tara practice, because Manjushri is an emanation of those two together, father, mother, and Manjushri is like their manifestation for you. And at this point, I will sound the mantra again, and this time visualize yourself, if you can, like Manjushri. If you don't know what it looks like or have a tanka or an actual statue, then go online. YouTube has many categories that they run on their website. And Dharma centers, all of them do this. So I'll run a few mantras and be Manjushri as we sound the mantra, and have it circulate in your heart center around a little sphere of the D, a white sphere or gold sphere with the D in gold or red in the middle. And the mantra, Om Ar Ra Pa Sa Na Di So Ha. Omar Pata Nadi Soha, 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 Omar Pata Nadi Soha. Soha is also pronounced in India Svaha, but in Sanskrit, in Tibet, which there are 8 different dialects, there's no V or F. So instead of 34, they have 32 basic symbols of the letters. Omar Pata Nadi So, 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 Omar Pata Na D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. So relax. Let it all fade into sunyata, the natural state of your awareness. Where it comes, nobody knows. Where it goes, nobody knows. But here we are. And where we are is where we're supposed to be. Aha, ho, ho, hurry with a capital D. At the end of your visualization and mantra session, however many mantras you perform, and we suggest hundreds or thousands, and if you can keep track, that's good. Some people like to say, oh, I'm going to do 100,000 or whatever number, and then they might use the mala to count. They might use a cell phone to keep track of it, or actually have their written text of keeping self-realization notes for themselves. However you do this is correct. And it is called the path of skillful means, and it is the short path to ultimate states of awareness, way beyond the 51 levels of all the various traditions of we call religion. Of course, those are necessary for some, but we want to go beyond even the need for a body or a mind. So when you rest in this state of non-conceptual awareness, you're open to the universe just as it is. You're clear of judgment or prejudice, and there's no need to add anything or take anything away. And this second stage of skillful means of allowing the deity and the mantra and all of the technique to disappear into your heart chakra center or wherever or nowhere. Relax. The simplicity of this second state of awareness practice is obvious. some people say, well, how do you find it? You don't find anything. Where did your thoughts come from? Where did they go? They come out of space, they appear, and they disappear on their own. And if you don't judge them, good, bad, superior, inferior, or whatever, there's no emotional activation. And that's a good thing, but it takes practice. Being present takes practice. Abandon the pleasantness, neediness takes practice. Just like learning to eat or learning to swim or anything. Then you reappear as the deity and go about your worldly business. And as you need the deity in whatever situation, there it is. So now I think it'd be a good time to have maybe some questions. We have many people in the class today. Welcome, all of you. Yeah, Soja, Sophia.
Sandhya.
Hi.
It's Sandhya. Hi,
Oh,
Sandhya.
Sandhya. Hi.
Yeah, I have a little show and tell today.
Okay.
Um, Years ago, you gave me the Manjushri mantra,
I
and
did?
and so this is my friend here wielding his sword of discernment.
Uh-huh.
He's
Wow.
he's a beauty. He is a real beauty.
Yeah, that's a very wonderful emanation of in
Yeah.
physical form. You know, inside those statues, the way the Tibetans do it is loaded with mantra and loaded with
Yeah.
relics
Yeah,
and
this one doesn't open though. And then I have his uh, likeness.
and thank you
That
for showing us that.
You're welcome. And then I have this to show.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, these depictions of the deities are actually emanated to the practitioner out of good karma of having done this many times in previous lives, all of us together. So good. Yeah,
And then
that's
I have
it.
his mantra. His mantra is right here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, how's it going with that?
Well, actually, I've moved on to Amitabha. Om Amitabha De Rahri. I For the past many years, now that I'm up in age.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
That one seems a little more relevant. Yeah. But I love Manjushri, you know. I sometimes I live from my neck up, and so I love the intellect. Yeah,
Yeah,
clarity.
very useful. Very useful.
Yeah.
You know, of course, it's good to depend on the cell phone and the visualizations that we receive or the techniques to the computer or whatever means and put it all together and be effective to helping others and taking care of the environment
Yeah.
and what the world needs today.
Yeah.
There's millions of it,
Yeah.
maybe billions of it. And when I say us, I say people that are skillfully, with the guidance of the teachers, working together to produce those results planet-wide, maybe universe-wide. What do we know?
Yeah. And Roxanne, if we can stay on for just a moment after the Zoom call, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm. Tia also has her hand up.
Uh-huh.
Hi
Tia, would you like
there.
to? Hi.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I have a question. Um, I don't have a sangha here, so this is my sangha, and I'm around worldly people. And I want to ask Lama Tashi what it was like to be around Ram Dass, to be around somebody that was on the same path and that had a lot of attainment. Could you tell me a Ram Dass story of when you met him or how he was, please? Thank you.
Well, these are actually emanations of the Buddha in physical form. Whether they activate that, realize that, or say that, or know that, we are. And because we've made this connection to the other state of our consciousness of the blissful joy of being a human with humans have a very good quality. We have choice. We can choose. And as we move on from life to life or situation to situation, we can choose what's most effective. And some of us can't. And so they need assistance. And that's what we call healing. And so when you experience an actual teacher like I have with Baba Ramdas or Kala Rinpoche or my teacher Lama Tenzin, Lama Rinchen, and so forth, I've become like a collector because as I moved from island to island, I needed more and more assistance. And so I would call and ask my teachers, we have one of your emanations here on this island, and this island, and this island? And so, it's on all the islands in Hawaii. And that happened over a period of about 50 years. And when you experience that person-to-person relationship, it's like one candle lighting another candle. It just happens. There's just an overpowering energy of their mind training, physical appearance, and their effectiveness as a teacher or guide. It becomes obvious. And yeah, you might have Manjushri, but when you have one of those personally up front, that's a Manjushri in person. And good karma, excellent karma. And some people don't believe in karma. And when that happens, trouble comes because we all have it. And even the teachers experience aging, sickness, death, and so forth, suffering. And the Buddha said, yeah, there's suffering, and there's a cause of the suffering, but there also is a way out of this state of suffering. And then that, if you take that to heart, in any way, shape, or form, that's going to be the end of suffering. And it's true. That's absolutely true. So now we have two truths, the relative truth, the absolute truth. The relative state of love, the unconditional state of love. And when we come to the nature of the mind and the relative state, we need help. And so when we ask for it, they appear. That's their purpose. That's their commitment. And they're happy to do that, and we're happy they do that. And now I'm out here in the middle of Osal, which is a place in the peninsula of southern Costa Rica where the jungle is right down to the ocean. And hard to get to. And so I have to, wherever we go, as bodhisattvas or as whatever, this is where you do your practice. So my Dharma center is the jungle, which I'm looking at all around there at the present moment, right up to the door, front door of this lovely, what they call cathedra. And we moved in here yesterday. And thanks to Roxanne, my lovely attendant, mother, like a mother, and her love, excellent son, Zani, which translates into lightning bolt, and that's an understatement with this kid. So here we are. So does that give you enough about
Yes,
tonight?
beautiful. I liked the metaphor of the candle lighting the candle.
Yeah,
Made sense.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, simple. It happens. It's just spontaneous. You know, we have this energy. We've been doing this for many, many lifetimes in the past, either individually or together like we are now. And because of that, we have good fortune. We have really special conditions, you know, and we have the availability to maintain this good health. But not only that, with this 21 breaths meditation practice, no matter how you perform it, you can teach others to do that so they can heal themselves. And then once they've learned to do that, they can pass it on to the upcoming generations. And so we did that in Hawaii through all of the school systems and all of the islands that are inhabited. And now we're taking it to this lovely area of the planet, Costa Rica. And personally, I'm not alone here as a teacher. There's another Lama here who's been here for a few, 2 or 3 years, Lama Dorji. He's here. And so my intention is to go to his, and he calls his organization Dewa Chen, the mind of the deity. Dewa, Diva, Chen, mind. And he's set it all up so that people can come there and, like here, relax, do their practice, either together as a group or individually. So my intention is to do that, but no hurry. Slowly, slowly. So, okay, any more questions? Anybody about anything?
I have,
I'm always available.
I have a
Aloha, Lama Tashi.
Good morning.
Thank you
Tachi
so much for
Jalei.
practice. It's so wonderful to see you and Roxanne. I'm so grateful for you guys showing up for this every week. It means so much to me. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to check and make sure that when we donate through your PayPal link, it says the money is going to Abby at aloha.net. And I just
No,
want to make sure that it gets sent to you and Roxanne.
no, now if you do that, send it to Lama Tashi.
Okay. Can the
And,
next email update that goes out have a
but
new
it go
link?
with that website is actually joined with another website, which is our where we built the stupa. And those two are merged together with Andy Fitz. So
Right. So
these
that's where
these
the
two,
money's going right now.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it's in those two merged together.
I don't know. Thank you for bringing this up. I'll check on that today. It's on the Kauai Dharma Center website.
And so when I link from the email to Andy's site to Kauai Dharma, it says send money to Lama Tashi, and then when you send it, it goes to Abby at aloha.net.
No, that's wrong.
No.
I'll check
So,
on that.
okay,
Thank
cool.
you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
No,
for sure.
we've canceled that whole situation, including the
Gotcha.
Dharma Center.
Yeah.
Abby and her daughter Lyra is still there. They have the property and so forth. But the functioning of a Dharma Center in their home is no more.
Yeah, I think this is a much more auspicious situation that you're in right now. This is really wonderful.
It's unbelievable. It's beyond my imagination. This is the way it's taken place. I mean, I was
Incredible.
jumping from Dharma Center to Dharma Center for giving them advice and help to get, I didn't know where. And up shows Roxanne and grabs me by the collar and said, "Hey, big guy, you're coming with me."
Best
And so,
possible situation. Good job, Roxanne.
unbelievable.
Such a blessing.
Good job, Roxanne. Deep
So here we
bow,
are.
deep bow.
Yeah, but my intention eventually,
Mhm.
with the guidance of the teachers, of course, is to leave not only my body for whatever use, for organ donor or whatever they want to do with it, or to have it just disappear at the time of leaving the body and immediately uh, go where it's most needed. And when I'm talking about my state of awareness as a bodhisattva. And Buddhahood is a word that's made up of the highest states of joy and bliss, which beyond imagination. So we'll see what happens with that. But I fully intend to be available,
Yeah,
in or
hopefully
out of
you're
the physical.
you're here with us for as long as is appropriate and feels
Yeah,
good
that's
and
right.
healthy in your body.
What's appropriate? We'll keep that
Yeah.
word in mind. No problema. Yeah, what's appropriate?
Thank you.
So, and if you don't know, Omar Apatanadiso or Omar Apatanadiso. I can give you an example of how I use it
Sure.
because I already said to find words, to find phrases that I need to remember in daily existence, or to find some object that I've misplaced. That's on the physical level, but on the ultimate level, I need to have some understanding of why I have to move so much from place to place. But these states of transition are so far very, very enjoyable. And they call them states of enchantment.
Mm.
When you're not practicing, the Dharma in union or with others, and then in between states of practice, that's called enchantment states. And you have to, what does that mean? Well, all of those things that happen are actually enhancement to your spiritual practice and growth. And so whether you're doing it purposely or not, it all comes together. And at night and daytime, in whatever situation, that's my experience. Trust it. They use the word faith. I'm more like the word trust, based on how it's been going and how it is going.
Mhm.
And so I keep calling on these guys and say, "Hey, help." Aging is an underlying condition for sure.
Mm.
So I'm still walking and talking. So anybody
Well,
else have questions? Yeah.
I have a question, Lama Tashi. This is Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi. I was when I was saying the refuge prayer the other morning, I realized that mostly the beings that we take refuge in make sense to me, but I don't have a very clear understanding of the dakinis and protectors and taking refuge in the dakini. And kind of, I don't have a real clear grasp of what dakini energy is and what it does. Could you say a little bit about that?
Yes, it's a family organization. Okay. If you understand the family relationships and all of what goes on between relatives and family and friends, neighbors and so forth, teachers, guides, animals, and if you involve yourself with the spirit world even more, then you start to come to the conclusion, where there is no conclusion, but to this realization that this is where we're supposed to be. This is what we do, whether it be at night while we're in a state of ignorance we call sleep, or if you don't sleep, like you invent another situation called the clear light to replace the sleep stage, which takes guidance and training. Or maybe you want to project into the infinite potential of the elements, which we've done today. Things like that, they happen. When I say they, it means we're a family organization. These five wisdom energies of the five elements and the five trainings of the Buddha's nature is mother and father. So we have the mother tantra, the father tantra, then they come together like parents. And then we have the mother father tantra. So we have these various divisions. But why is it so, some people will say, complicated? Well, it's not, because we are complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And so individually, we have to, we all have the same karma. Aging, sickness, and death is a reality of the body, but not the mind. And because we are immortal, we should choose that state of immortality to be effective from now on,
Mm-hmm.
as long as it takes 1 day or 1 million centuries. Who, you know, wow.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Wow.
yeah. I taught Lama Rinchen the word spectacular because he asked me what wow was.
Mm-hmm.
Spectacular. So that's my view on it. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're magnificent in our each in our own way.
Mm.
We want to increase that blazing light energy. And then the wrathful deity appears when people get too uppity or too violent or unruly, like children do. And the mother has to bring out the, you know, how to discipline. It's called discipline. So when we show discipline, this nice, peaceful Chenrezi and Tara turn into a wild, raging,
Mm-hmm.
but not in the mind, in the physical emanation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what the wrathful deities, and we do those kind of practices. Personally, I do that one specifically in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
My form is Chenrezi in a wrathful form called Mahakala with its consort Mahakali.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that every day. And all the lamas everywhere on the planet are also doing something like that every day. And then the peaceful deity, Tara Chenrezi, sitting on lotuses and beautiful settings like we have here, morning time is the best.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever your schedule is, however you feel about it, you, according to your situation, you have to work it out. You have to work with it and around it.
Mm-hmm.
So does that answer that question? You have both for specific reasons, because Here we have war, famine, disease, poverty, environmental destruction, the spread of toxins, etc., etc., etc. Social unrest in forms of praise and disgrace, pleasure and pain, loss and gain, and so forth. They call it the eight worldly dharmas. Everybody has those.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in a human body has these eight. And I'll say them slowly. Loss and gain, pleasure and pain, dharma, praise and blame, disgrace and blame, pleasure and pain, loss and gain. They're called the eight worldly dharmas.
Mm-hmm.
Drama
Mm-hmm.
to the max. Everybody. Nobody gets out of it. No animal, human, or spirit. Because it's the way it is. They call it thatness or suchness. So it's mind bending sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
useful.
For sure. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure, man. Okay. So if there's no more questions, then we'll dedicate the virtue of this gathering
Actually,
today.
I have one last question before you go,
Yeah.
Chris. Hey, checking in on my mandala practice. I've been
What
doing
is it?
about I've been doing about 7 a day, and I'm feeling like with the year of the horse, I want to start, speeding things up.
Well, first of all, are you counting?
Of course,
Stop counting.
I know you always say that, but Lama Rinchen tells me, whispers in my ear that I should count.
Oh, well, okay. If you got Lama Rinchen, boy, he's the DI. He's the
Uh,
drill instructor plus.
I've been kind of doing about seven refuge prostrations, and then 21 Vajrasattva's, and then I do about 7 mandalas and 7 manams each morning.
That's an awful lot.
I know.
So if you feel like it, you're the boss. You know, Lama Rinchen is the guy. He's a Buddha. He knows. He's giving you his best advice. But you personally take it to heart and then make your decisions. You're a bodhisattva. You're not a Buddha. Well, you are a Buddha, but bodhisattva training is 10 levels. Generosity, morality, patience, perseverance, meditative concentration. That's the first 6 levels. Then we're doing these deity yogas and making aspiration prayers of what to do with that kind of energy of infinite potential. And then we add bodhicitta, that we intend to bring every animal, human, and spirit in the whole universe to these states of joy and bliss. And then if that isn't heavy enough, we add unconditional love. Nobody, unconditional love, what is that? Yeah. It's like a mother for her only child. That's what it is. And I have Roxanne, her son here, to prove it. Unconditional love is right here in front of me every day. So I have a living experience, but that's what it is. And this unconditional states of awareness are simply awareness, purely experiential. They come as they're needed, they do what they're supposed to do, and then they fade, disappear. So everything does that. Everything in the samsaric world. And the nirvanic states are also constantly changing according to the temperament of the universal premortal states of existence as people experience them. But experiences are only experiences. And remember, dreams are drama. And they attach so much importance to astrology. Well, that's a nice storytelling. But be careful of the stories you tell yourself, because some of them get to be too much. So you decide.
So,
Take
so
Mama Richard to heart. He's He's sitting right here on my right shoulder, left shoulder,
So I
jabbing.
like 11 or 21 comes to mind. And then when I'm doing those 11 or 21, how many would be actual building the actual mandala versus you said there's the short ones and the long ones. You always want to do at least 3 long ones and then you can use the rest short ones.
Yes,
Okay.
of course. You decide. I keep telling you that. You decide. Yeah.
All right.
You're
Thank you, Lama.
training, you are training yourself with the help of the teacher. They are giving you the guidance and suggestions, like Amitabha Buddha. He comes and tells me, well, hey, brah, everything's okay. That's his guy. But when you leave your body, however you leave it, no problem. I'll be right there. Oh, good, good. I trust to that. So that's my next training program. But as long as I'm in this physical situation with all this lovely health that I'm experiencing, these lovely places that I'm enjoying, I don't have anything to add to the. Yeah, I got 3, 7, 21, 108, 1 million, whatever. And I'm like you. I do my morning session, I do my afternoon or evening session, and I take care of the stuff at night. That's my 24 hours. And where did I learn to do all that? 40-month retreat. See? If you can do that one, ooh. That's where
Well,
we're headed.
thank you, Lama Tashi. Good to see you both healthy and
Yeah,
strong. Enjoy the Osa Peninsula. Many blessings.
yeah. I'm so happy to have you on the board with Andy and all the crew at the Stupa. Do a good job. You're
Doing
doing
our
great.
best.
And say hello
Bye.
to Annie and your lovely child. Okay. Anybody else?
And Tashi Delay Lama, I have, and thank you everyone for organizing all of this. I have, I'm confused just about the last question. One of my teachers told me to stop counting, and because he said I was obsessed with counting, and I kind of got offended by that. But do you have any suggestions on any other methods that I could do that would help me?
If it's useful for you to count, do it. If it becomes an obstacle, go to the teacher and tell him I'm having a problem with this and see if that can be worked out that way. Otherwise, use Manjushri. Use your infinite potential of your awareness itself as guidance, because that's your Buddha nature. And we have two natures. We have the drama nature, and we have our Buddha, what we call Buddha nature. And the Buddha nature is boss, but each one of us has a individual karmic situation because of who we were in past lives in this life. So we have to purify that. So sometimes you got to run that 100-syllable mantra more than 3 times because of what's coming up, but you have to do it. And sometimes you have to do a couple of malas of Manjushri to get the question answered. And loving kindness is kind of lacking with your relationship sometimes. So you got to get on that one with Tara and Shenrezi. So we have these, and there's 1,000 of these applications of deities of Tara and Shenrezi and Manjushri. 1,000 of each deity. Why? Because some of us need that, and some of us don't. So, but we all have karma. Impermanence, okay? Death and impermanence, we all have karma, and we all have conditional existence as long as we're in the human form. So we have to play with that, deal with that. And you're doing that, so keep it up. Anything else?
Yeah, some other Sangha member was suggesting that I set a timer
Well,
for
yeah, that's
15
still
minutes,
cool. Yeah,
15 minutes to an hour or something like that.
yeah, or 5 or 10 or yeah.
Have you ever
You
recommended
don't
that
have to
one or
carry one
try
of
that
these
one?
around. I wear this. Everybody, it's not jewelry. It's so people ask me, what are you wearing those beads around your neck all the time for? Ah, you're asking me a good question, friend. And so then we start to discuss. You see, it opens a door. And so one of my teachers advised me wherever you go is keep the sandalwood beads around your neck and answer whoever asks you, why are you wearing those? When you go swimming, surfing, diving, hiking, or whatever, you know? So I do it for that purpose, only for that purpose. I don't need to count anymore. But anything else?
Thank you for answering that.
I'm available anytime for anybody, any place, everywhere. And that's quite enough to keep myself in line. So now we'll do the dedication prayer, which if you, oh, and by the way, I want to show, this is my guidance, Padmasambhava with Yeshe Soigal and his crew. And this is the termas that he's been handing down, prophecy, all for all the ages, including this age we find ourselves in, which is quite overpowering, are in this manual. But I'm showing you because of his pictures on the front. But he and Yeshe Soigal are the cause of the Dharma in Tibet, emigrating from China and India. And he and she left these termas, prophecies everywhere, not just in Tibet, but many places for be discovered. And for our age, we're in a state of what they call digression. And it's become a social rearrangement, but it's only temporary. And the states where things that are useful become more prolific will follow this state of decline. But we're going to take care of it as it happens, and if possible, without having to go where it's happening, and see if we can't make it nice, make it comfortable, make it exciting to be a human being. Anybody else? We dedicate the merit of this to the benefit of all living beings as our parents or mother everywhere. Kewadi Nudu Dog Shagya Champo Drugirne Jowa Chinking Malupa Te Sala Gopar Sho Sanjay Kusum Nimpai Chim La Dong Shoni Maker Impai Chim La Dong Gendu Miche Dumpai Chim La Ki Chitar Gomwa Moon Lam Ju Par Sho. By this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, may I quickly establish all beings without exception at that level of awareness. By the blessings of the three bodies of the Buddha being accomplished in practice, by the blessing of the teaching of the Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessings of the wishes of us, the Sangha, and all Sangha being unwavering, may this prayer be fulfilled completely as it was said. May all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. And we send that out with Duce, Mahalo, Mil grazie, mucho grazie. Thank you.
Thank you, Tashi.
Thank
And
We'll see
you.
you all.
Thank you, Lama
Aloha.
Tashi.
Duce, to
just want to let you
Duce.
guys know next week we won't have class because I'll be traveling for work. So we'll be back on the following Monday. So that's the 19th. And then there's also a lot of class recordings available online. And Jacqueline, thank you for mentioning what you did. If you would be so kind to send me a screenshot of what you saw, Jacqueline, with the donations going to Abby, so I can help to troubleshoot that. That would be super helpful.
Okay, I may need to send another payment in order to get you a screenshot, so I can do that.
Oh, does it just do it after you send the payment? It
It
shows.
did. It didn't give me like a record of it or
Okay, that's fine.
anything.
I'll do that then. I'll just make a donation and see what comes up, or I'll
Okay.
get it to the back end. That's no
We could
problem.
ask Andy too on that, see if he's seeing the donations go in.
Yeah, I
Um,
wrote Andy, and I also have the keys to the website, so I'll get
Okay.
into the website and hopefully I can figure out how all that part works.
And as far as I know, we already handled that situation
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into it, but
completely,
thank
but
you so much,
we'll
Jacqueline.
keep checking on it.
Yeah. Michelle, did you want to say something? I just
Wanted to
noticed.
say I tried the donation while you were all talking, and I clicked on the link that you sent in your email to us about the class. If you want to donate, click here. I did. The donation goes through PayPal, but it goes to Lama Tashi. It does not go to Abby.
Okay,
That's right.
so that button is good.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you. Amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Your
Abby
team.
and her daughter are completely taken care of, and they're, as far as I know, okay. And that's the way I left that situation. And any problems that arose after I left, Andy's and others have taken care of. So we'll keep on that. That's a good one.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. And Sandia, I'll stay on.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.